All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and fix our blueprints and create a couple of templates. Okay, so we're going to fix this blueprint, update the templates, update the navigation, and we're going to kind of go to that point there. So, and then we'll push it all out and we'll run a test to see if it works. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is using the, and let's just double check it, using the examples.py blueprint, create a new blueprint for the author's table. So it should use the schema. Use the schema document to reference the table properties. All right, we'll go to that point, see what it does. Should go relatively quickly. So it should go in and actually find all the different parts and have like first name, last name, pages, or what books, stuff like that. It should be able to do all that. All right, so it's writing a blueprint, right? So it's made one called authors, and it's coming up with the whole blueprint for it. Now it's registering the blueprint. So that registration happens in this init file right here, which is the initialization file, okay? And then it's going to, I think it's going to stop at that point, so it registers it, because we didn't tell it to actually make the template file. All right, now we can tell it to make the template file. So now so we'll start with that, using the samples.html template file, make a template for the authors. All right, let's just double check, and it's examples, not samples. So we'll come back here and go examples. All right. And that should happen actually pretty quick. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to add this little plus sign, and I'm going to get started with Python app.py, and I'm going to... So I had a small issue where I couldn't run this locally. Running this locally causes it to start on 5,000, and I already have something on there and I don't want to have to restart it and keep going. So I'm just going to tell this update the application to run locally on port 5001. And picking a different port that's not being used, this should rewrite like one of these init files, so it'll run on that. Instead, and then if I go to 127, yeah, so here in the app.import one of these little files over here, it tells us to run on port 5001, and that will be good. That will be good for us to go and test it. So let's go look and see what that looks like. So I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to go 127.0.0.1:5001. And this is a cannot. And let's go back and see why. Maybe it's not running right now. So I go back over here. Yep, it is not running. So I'm going to rerun it on 5001 and go back to where we were and hit refresh. And now it's running here. Okay. And examples isn't going to work because there's nothing there. So we are going to push this out to where it is and see if we can get it to work. So go back over here, and that seems to all be working. We we have the database configuration. All of this is working. We have our authors. Now let's tell it to now update the base.html navigation, and it will do that for us real quick, and it will change out the examples and add in the authors. And when you click on authors, it opens up all of our data there. When I go to add new author, I can edit the author and I can delete the author. All right. So that is our first, the modals all work just kind of like by default. Okay. Now I want to do the same thing for the books. Okay. So that was perfect. I always like to be nice to my AI. Now make the .py for books. There is a relationship between books and authors, so double check that in the schema document. Then we need to do one more thing. We're going to need to clean up the, or we're going to need to make the data, the book template. It is registering the blueprint. So I have my two blueprints here. I have this third one here that I'm going to have to get rid of in just a second. So I'm going to work on my next command. The next command is going to be now build the books template. And that books template is going to be in here. It's going to be based off the examples template. It might have been better to be more explicit about telling it to work off the examples template, but this should be okay because I already did it once. All right, so we have the books template here. And then lastly, we will go in and tell it to update the navigation. So let's tell it that. Update, actually, remove the examples template and blueprint. Then update the navigation to include books and authors, but not examples. So that's actually going to not take very long. It's just going to do like a little remove real quick. It's going to get rid of the example py, and then we'll get rid of the examples.html. So I'm going to say yes. So it's deleting both of those. And then it's going to get rid of this one up here. And it will unregister it. Okay, so that's gone. And then it needs to unregister it, so we've got to make sure, oh, there it goes. It's looking at the registration. It's going to unregister it from the assignment file here. Getting rid of both of those. Red means it's deleting them. And then finally, it's going to update the navigation, which is in this base file right here. It will update it. So now it's getting rid of examples. That's the red one. And it's saying to show the authors and then also show the books. All right, so let's go back to our internet and see what that looks like. So I hit refresh. I got books. I got authors. Let's go back to books. If I add a new book, this all looks outstanding. And I can edit the book. Very good. And I can delete the book. Very good. It's on a modal. All right. That is all we have for this video. I have one more video I want to show you, and then we will be good to go.